How are we doing? Good morning. Good to see you all. Welcome to the Master Coliseum Group A, Day 2. Serral versus Astrea, Serral versus Shin, and Shin versus Cure coming up. Might be that by the time we get to Shin versus Cure, that matchup just does not matter. So that is a possibility as we get through the day. Be fun to see how things are going to go. Again, welcome everybody. How are we doing? Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for being here. Excited to give you guys some games. These are the matches coming up. And the groups and everything. Again, we don't have the audio from the feed until we go in game, guys. I'm going to try and not get my YouTube stream demonetized today. Which means just being as good as we can be in terms of not putting the music on at any point. So just going to try our best in that regard, so bear with me there. And yeah, these are the matches coming up today. Man, Astrea popped off yesterday. Beating Shin and Cure puts him in such a good spot to advance from this group. That is going to be such a good situation for him. He's going to be loving that. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are all doing well again. Thank you so much for joining us here today as we get started. And ready to go into some Starcraft 2. Should be, like I say, a pretty fun one as we get into these games. How is everyone doing? Thank you so much for all the love. A bunch of resubs coming up at the start of the day. Just Dead, Mad Alien, SR Fireball, and Unstoppable Pork. Appreciate it, guys. I'm going to start working on getting you guys on the tree. I just, I also don't have my cam on, so I'm not sure how... I guess I will get the cam on at some point, but I'm just going to need a few minutes to get you all tied up anyway, so... Probably end up going into this first series, and I'll put you guys on the tree afterward. But yeah, hope everyone is doing fantastic today. Thank you so much for joining us and being here. And yeah, well, just like I say, a bunch of resubs at the start of the day. What better way to get going? It's almost like you guys want me to come in with some energy and some hype and some belief and some everything else. That's okay, guys. I can do that. I can do that. I am professionally trained in being the StarCraft 2 hype person on this stream. I'm going to have to disappear a couple of times here and there, probably between games quickly, guys. I want to try and keep an eye on Ellie. Me and her are home alone at the moment, and like I say, she's kind of meant to have an eye on her. She's not really meant to be doing stairs and stuff, and I just want to make sure she's alright. She's had a bad leg, so I'm just trying to do my best to keep an eye on her as well. She's been doing a lot better. She's taken herself up the stairs now, which she's not meant to be doing, but yeah, if she seems to want to do it, then that's fine. As we are going to be going into Astrea versus Serral. Start the day. It's a pretty fun PvZ to kick things off, honestly. Especially because Astrea was playing so well yesterday. I'm kind of sad that this one is first. I actually really wish we'd done the ZVZ first or something, and then we come into Astrea versus Serral. Although I imagine when they initially did the schedule, they probably thought Shin Serral was a higher chance to be a important matchup, you know. So can kind of make sense the order in which it was done, if there was any logic to that. And, yeah, like I said, I can appreciate / understand what they might have been trying to achieve. Okay, guys, it's a little bit weird because we don't have the clean feed sound, but I will be putting the in-game sound on, obviously, as soon as we get to the point. of requiring that, which is right about now apparently. So I'm just gonna have to tap out quickly, most likely. Yep. Disable these sounds. Come back over. Do this. There we go. All right. So hello and welcome, one and all. Don't mind me also just tearing open tree decorations. Hello and welcome. How we doing? It is Serral versus Astrea PvZ best of 3 here in Masters Coliseum Group A, Day 2. Do you think we're going to have a pretty fun one? I think this is going to be a pretty enjoyable couple of matches. I really do think after yesterday as well, I was super impressed by Astrea, so I'm going to be really intrigued to see how well he can do today. See if he can really put up like a challenge to Serral or so. Honestly, I don't see why not. He played great, especially in PvZ yesterday. The only problem I have is that Astrea looked the best when the game just sort of, settled down and got comfortable. I mean, isn't that what we just love when Serral plays Starcraft do? When the game just settles down, he gets comfortable, he makes the game comfortable for himself. I feel like if Astrea wants to play his game, he's also going to be playing Serral's game. And, yeah, that is not exactly an easy game to be playing, is the TLDR on that one, so I'm definitely thinking that might be a factor as well. But we'll see how it all goes, we'll see how it all heads up as we get ourselves started here in just a couple of moments. With some action, obviously, PvZ will take a moment or two to truly get underway, so we don't see too much of anything just yet. We take a moment to let things settle down and all of that loveliness. I mean, we also had Serral obviously looking good against QA yesterday as well. Now we get 2 matches of Serral today, Astrea and versus Shin. Again, the way this really works is if there's not really any upsets, like if Serral just wins out, Astrea advances. So if Serral beats Shin, then Astrea basically just gets through anyway. So, yeah. Obviously, Astrea can control his destiny a little bit right now by playing well in this series. But there is absolutely a world where even if he loses this, he's done a good job. And if Serral just beats Shin, it doesn't really matter. And even if Serral doesn't beat Shin, there's a world where Astrea still advances on map score. He had a pretty good map score. He 2-0'd Shin, that would help him a lot. Q is already 0-2, so Q is not a threat to Astrea. Can't get to the same match score. And the fact that Astrea has a 2-0 over Shin, I think, does a lot for him in terms of being able to, like I say, just be extremely comfortable in this series. I think there's a lot to be said about that right now as we get underway. Deb going to come about, the blink is on the way up, the warp gate's coming through as well. Pro pulls over to the side, and we just have ourselves a pro actually can come back across. Get pylon placed down for a couple of moments, just get that straight underway. And yeah, link speed coming through. Blink is on the way up as well, and continue to bring all of that into action at the moment. Now we're going to get up to the top side. There's Astrea. Clearly has something a little cheeky up his sleeve. Now Serral's building the Baneling nest pretty quickly here, so he's going to prep in that regard. That blink already on the way through. He doesn't see the Bane nest. I mean, Bling's being made. Bane nest on the way up. All the gates from Astrea. He just goes for a big gateway. Blink Stalker time. The thing is, he opened Twilight Council, so I think Serral is basically prepping for this as though it's like an adept attack, so you're going to have Banelings to deal with it. But, yeah, he's going to have Banelings to deal with it, but then this is actually going to be Stalkers, so I don't think the Banes are going to do too much there. Obviously amazing to find that initial pylon. That's an amazing catch. That is going to do a lot of favors for you in these early stages. So that's definitely going to help. As the Stalkers come back around, another Stalker warping in. 12 more Lings and an Overlord on the way up at the moment. Roach Roaring now starts, as Serral begins to realize a little bit of what is up. So yeah, because it's just straight to Twilight Council, you probably expect Glaves, but this is instead just going to be a Blink Stalker all in. Just don't think it's going anywhere for Astrea. And Serral just figuring this out and getting all the scout information he needs. Obviously does a lot for him in that regard. The Ling's now chasing down these Stalkers, and this is not pretty at all. This is nigh on disastrous. As I mean, you're just losing Stalkers. Like I say, you don't need the Banelings in this scenario. if this had got better set up from Astrea, obviously then Serral's tech into the Baneling nest would be like, oh, that's such a waste, and that might have cost him some of the money he needed, and he could have done with that being a Roach Roaring instead. But because it's being shut down so quickly, Serral is just able to jump on all of these Stalkers, and this is not even a competition. This is plain simple and easy as these little Stalkers just go down and down and down. I mean, they are having a bad time. But the Lings will continue to run through, and they're going to come and show up, jumping onto all those Stalkers once again. Stalkers continue to take a whole chunk of damage. I mean, like I say, try and save this situation, Astrea. I just don't think you do. Serral is now building Roaches, so it's not just the Lings. He's going to have a better kind of backup to this. I wouldn't say any of these Lings have actually traded badly either. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, maybe he should have just backed away. Maybe he should have waited for the Roaches. I actually think he's been absolutely fine for every single trade that he's taken. So far, it's been absolutely spot on. No issues at all. So, yeah, absolutely fine there. As we'll have Stalker's going to get through. The Overlord will go down. And the rest of the Lings still on the move. Ravages morphing, Roaches coming up. But our Lings moving about here and there. The Lairs on the way through as well. The Lings and the Ravages continue to go back the other direction. The Stalkers continuing around. The Lings is going to be there. Queens and Roaches are going to be there. The Ravages as well up that ramp. Just continue to chase. Stalker's going to get hunted down. So all those Stalkers in trouble right away. I mean, they're actually trading pretty well against some of the Lings that are showing up now. This might be one of the moments where it's actually like, hey, did we actually really want to go this far as Serral? The Ravages got exposed there for a moment or two as well, but then extra circles show up. And it's very rare Serral makes a misjudgment or a miscall on taking a fight and then, you know, committing to an engagement. That was absolutely not one of those moments. And that is going to be G's for game number 1. And guys, I got to mute up this feed every time we come out of game. I'll put my own Starcraft backing music and back sound on between matches, but between games we should in theory just be kind of in and out, so we'll just mute and come back, and then like I say between matches we'll put some back sound on just so it's a little bit quiet. It means I don't have to talk constantly to convince you guys that the audio is there, etc, etc. As Astrea. Yeah, tried something a bit funky there to be fair. Tried to kind of get a little bit cheeky. I do think initially he tricked Serral in terms of preparing for something that wasn't coming. Like you say, he made a Baneling nest. He didn't make a single Baneling in this game. Obviously, yeah, there's that aspect to it, but there's also the aspect of, at the end of the day, Astrea got figured out more so. You know, Serral still found out in time. He found out before he made Banelings. He found out in time to go after the pylon to start forcing fights super quickly and super early. So I think all of that was definitely something we can kind of look toward as well. That's a pretty big factor. Sipship, thank you so much for the 38-month resub on the Prime. Let me get all you guys on the tree, actually. While we have a moment. Webcam, my webcam's not actually turned on. Let me turn it on. Oh. Alright. Welcome to the tree, everybody that has subscribed so far today. Appreciate you guys. Welcome. I actually have a gingerbread man going on the tree as well as some Santas and elves. These are the last Santas and elves. Oh my god, they're going in game already. Ah! Alright. You guys will get on the tree in due course. Right now, let's go back in game. Oh, they actually really started this one quickly, huh? Yesterday they had a couple of minutes between maps here and there. I don't know if that was like the admins doing of like, oh hey, we actually need to play some sponsorship stuff or something and just let's take a moment. Apparently not the case. Apparently the players maybe needed a minute yesterday. Whereas today we're all good. Well, very happy to be all good and to get us a move in. As we get started out, I'd like to see where we're going to go and what we're going to be doing for a few moments here. Like I say, Astrea playing a bit of a funky style in that last one. Mixing it up a little bit and going for something a little bit different. It's so difficult to trick Serral. He's so good. He knows all the things to look for. He knows all the time as a scout. He'll figure out little things are missing as well to kind of make him maybe even scout a little further if he feels it's necessary, right? I mean, we can not do anything but praise Serral's commitment to the ability of scouting and being able to figure out what's going on. And that's what's made Serral so consistent over a long period of time, is that you can't just cheese this guy out, right? This guy does not get caught off guard by a cheeky build here and a cheeky build there, and if it does, it's very rarely. And that really is the difference of him being so dominant, because a lot of people tried it, right? For a long time as well, and it just never worked. Whereas those are the ways sometimes you beat the better players, you beat the stronger players, or the more well-rounded players. Serral's playstyle is really very resilient to that, though, and that, just like I say, is probably going to make it one of the better playstyles to be dominant with, which is exactly obviously what he's done in his Starcraft career. Let's see the Queen coming up, group team coming out the front as well, so just going to get all of that underway right from the very get-go. Step going to go shading forward just a little bit, going to come straight across, try and see what we can do. And Step going to hit the hatchery for a few moments again. Oracle and the Warp Gate both coming up, so all of that coming online as well. As the Oracle will go chrono boosting out of the stop gates, just going to get that on the move as well. Going to get that going straight away. Going to be then, your Adept will take a few shots of damage, so Adept going to take some hits. Going to be moving about. So it looks as though this time we are prepping to take a nice fast third base in Astrea. It was just with the Stargate opening, a lot more regular, a lot more standard. Definitely not looking like he wants to be the big old aggressor this time around. Just playing a very different style of game. Twilight Council coming up, Gateway coming through as well. We've got ourselves the next coming by on the third. And yeah, Serral just shown us drone, shown us an Overlord. He knows that this is so far very standard and nothing happening from the Protoss, so he has had absolutely zero reason to come in and do anything differently himself. So yeah, he also just sits back and lets this kind of develop through as the Oracle continues to go after a couple more creep teamers for a few moments. Stalker now going to poke onto the Overlord. Blink is on the way up, getting chrono boosted as we speak. Oracle's going to get around the back, and we get a few drones. Serral not completely resilient here. He's actually going to be able to get in and get some drone damage, but I mean, it's difficult to completely deny the Oracles. Obviously, some games you do really just get it to it's like no damage taken. Limited numbers of drones. The deeper into the game we go, the less that's going to be impactful as well. So I think all of that helps as Stalkers continue through for a moment or so. Oracle's still moving forward as well, just for now. And on we go. Units moving down into the middle of the map. Overlord here going to be taking some shots also. Stalker's going to be able to knock that down pretty easily. Now jumping onto some creep humans and a couple of the queens. A little bit more damage being done here and there. Oracles will activate again and the Lings get chased away. A little revelation comes down. Folks get rid of a creep teamer, so again, just a little bit more damage being dealt here and there for the moment. Plus for melee, the roach speed, infestation pit, all that continues to come about right now as our Stalkers and the Adepts. Gonna hit the few Zerglings for just a couple of moments as well, so a little bit more damage on that one. I'm just going to get back up to the top side, just going to try and go after those Stalkers. Stalkers move about, Stasis Wood coming in, again, Temple Archives, Robo Facility. +1 in charge. We'll continue to build up right now, so we get all of that again producing already. And the unit's just moving around the center, so Astrea happy to take some map control here on ley lines. This map is very fun for moving around and kind of how the game develops, so definitely one thing we continue to watch for as we move through this. Stalker shots coming down, guys. I see the game is a little laggy as well, by the way. That is not on our side. That is the clean feed going a little bit haywire. Well, it's not even the clean feed. It's literally just what they are sending to us. It's got some frame rate issues. So this didn't happen yesterday, but it's a frequent issue when WTL sends us a clean feed. So I can only hope that's going to get resolved and hopefully doesn't impact us too much. You know, we can only do so much with the quality of the stream when we're casting off this clean feed as well. So apologies for that. As do you have our Stalker going to go back onto the Overseer there, get a little bit more damage done. Overseer again chased about for the moment. Oracle's firing. Flying Roach coming back the other way. Now, Speed Racer, thank you so much for the 56-month resub as well. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel today. A little bit lively today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was super quiet when, during the Masters Coliseum games. But everyone's got a sub to share today, apparently. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Stalker High Templar pushing down the bottom side. Going to get some creep tumors. Serral prepping with the Hydras. Obviously, he's on his way to the adrenal glands and hive tech in general, so he's going to be able to have access toward Lurk as soon as he would like it. Ceiling Hydra ain't going to cut it forever. I think it's this army of Astrea right now. Actually pretty scary. As all those Lings and Hydras keep moving about. Stalker's getting a few more Lings killed out on the top side. Just going to clean up over here. Now our Stalker's going to get through for some of the creep tumors in the middle of the map as well. Coming through, Mortal on the way, +2 attack and shields coming up as well. Astrea happy to go into leaping. I mean, probably can't kill Serral just attacking through. That was a good moment from Astrea, but a good moment does not equate to just being able to completely dive through and make it happen, right? So, go back a little. These Lings going to get chased. I mean, I think you should still stay here with this army. I think there's good trades to be had at the moment, but like I say, there's only so far forward you can press. Serral can hold the Rams. He's splitting very well against the Storms, actually. Continuing to maintain good HP on his units, right? Not letting them get splashed down and whittled away at before a big fight really breaks out at all. So I think that's very important too. I think that goes a long way for you. We finally get to see Max Packs? No. Not today. Max Pax plays in Group B, which is next week, I believe, alongside Raynor. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Just gonna see a couple of storms coming down here as the Lurk is obviously getting across the map. Good defense from Astrea, honestly. Serral loses that group of units, and Astrea is able to trade very well with that, so it actually goes very nicely. Move over. And forward hatchery going down as well. I still like what Astrea is doing. I feel like he's actually taking some pretty reasonable fights for himself. He's doing a good job of not letting Serral just have every base on the map for free as well, which is sometimes just a given when Serral's playing. People just like, yeah, you know what, Serral, you're right. You know, you deserve every base. Astrea is very happy to get out there and contest it. He's playing the middle of the map. He's playing actively. He's not playing afraid, I think, is one of the most important things. So I think in a lot of ZVPs when you're playing against Serral, as the Protoss, a lot of the Protoss players are like, man, like, how are we ever meant to get anything done? And so they just play that little bit more passively than they might typically play. Because they kind of poke the first time and say, okay, the defense is good, yeah, okay. But I think Astrea benefits a lot from just having the confidence to be persistent. It can be daunting to constantly be on the map against one of the best players we've ever had. But Yeah, he's standing out there. He's doing his thing. He knows that he needs to be consistent with that. Otherwise, Serral does just settle down, and this game becomes really difficult to pull back into your favor at that point. So Stasis Ward's catching Lings, that's not really a huge issue, as the Stasis Ward's getting cleaned up allows for the rest of the army to potentially come through. Tempests are producing as well, by the way, as we work our way towards a higher tech tier from our Protoss. So +2 air weapons gets denied. Love the contamination. Always a fun play that does a lot for very little. If you can find a good thing to contaminate, slowing down upgrades, almost always going to benefit. There's a couple more storms going down here. Those High Templar getting chased. Just Corrupt is continuing across. Well, Corrupt is all coming through as well. We have ourselves a +3 attack, +2 air weapons, Tempests building up for the moment. Slugger's going to get burrowed up there. They're going to push back. So just does not lose these kind of games. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem. I feel like Astrea is most comfortable when the game gets here, just as is Serral, right? This is when Serral's at his absolute best. Very few pros players have been able to challenge Serral at this sort of stage of the game. Hero, when he plays absolute tip-top Starcraft. Showtime has had some very good games against Serral at this stage of the game as well. He's just so freaking good. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Dude's just freaking good at StarCraft too. That is very much so what we're seeing right there. Here, as Lurkers burrow up, Immortals, Archons, gonna get chased away a little bit. +3 melee and +3 missiles all coming up as well. Couple of shots, Roach is taking damage. See the Lurkers coming over. Ling's gonna take a few more hits as well. There's a storm coming down. Again, sorry that the feed's so laggy, guys. Again, there's just nothing I can do personally about that. Tempest's going to fire forward. The shots coming in, and Astrea. I mean, like I say, Astrea confidently kind of taking down certain positions. That was the mothership, I believe. Just kind of wandering through. I'm not sure what it was doing over there in the first place, to be honest. That doesn't seem like it should have really been there at all. Not exactly an ideal moment in the slightest. And Tempest Archons, the Immortals continue to gather. A couple of those Archons still morphing in as we speak. Storm. Corrupt is taking a bunch of damage there. I mean, Corruptors obviously would like to be able to commit onto those Tempests. They are taking so much damage though. I'm terrified for these Corruptors. They're going to be low HP. Serral chasing a little bit too far there. Actually taking a bad fight. I think once he took 1 or 2 more of those storms, he should have absolutely just been thinking, oh no, this is not it. But he was kind of committed and kind of was just pushing forward as Astrea puts himself into a good position. Again, consistency with this army is benefiting him. Now we see Serral actually going to morph a bunch of those Corruptors into Broods. Will replace more Corruptors as well, but going more heavily into the air army. Archon's going to come pressing up as we go through some spores. There's Hatcher going to be in trouble as well. Hatchery will go down. Just going to be seen now. Lurkers are going to try and step forwards as well. Army pulls back over to the right. Test is on the low ground. They're going to move up. They're going to be a big part of this, guys, as just need to snooze the ads because this game is starting to go a little bit longer. That's sorted out. Focus back on the game for a little bit as Tempest are coming to run the center. I mean, the thing is, Astrea has been so good at being able to hold the middle of the map with his army, which makes it very difficult for Serral to get any good kind of lurker siege ups or just siege positions with Broodlords even. I know the Broodlords are a newer addition, but that will also be a difficulty. And because of the way the map works, there's going to be a lot of mobility on this map too. Those lurkers are going to get burrowed up as the oracles will be there to provide protection if required. A couple of feedbacks coming through. You can see the Corruptors still taking some damage as well. The shots across the board as the Broodlords continue to go back to the front. Go chasing about for a little further there. Tempests, Archons, Immortals and the rest joining through as the Archon's going to hit for a couple of those Lings as well. We're going to drop a little Revelation down. It's going to be seeing those Tempests. Going to go shooting away at the hatchery, and this hatchery is going to fall as well. So again, Serral is not being allowed a lot of the bases, which at this point I think he would typically be expecting to be able to keep a hold of. Serral clearly struggling in that regard. Our Tempest, Immortal, and Archons come back around the other way. Lurkers are going to move across also. Tempest Archon continues to move over. Just going to get back into the center. The gates, Dark Shrine coming up, the Nexus, the Mothership, all continuing through. Again, all of our upgrades continue about as well. Hatchery going to be there. Broods joining us. I was going to shoot away. The hatch and the gas continues to come about. Tempest very much so still firing his... Serral trying to find the fight. Broodlord's chasing. We shot at a couple Corruptors there as well. Infest is being added on from Serral, who's maybe realizing he just needs more spellcasters to really, truly lock down this army in the near future. So we'll be kind of trending toward that at the moment, it seems. One comes from the Tempest, will come straight across. The Storm's coming through as well, those Corruptors. Gotta stay tight in the sky. Gotta be careful. They can go down so easily. The Tempest's gonna chase for the Broodlords. Serral continues to just stay in a pretty pinned back position. I mean, he's losing bases. Astrea, it feels like Astrea's never had to move away from the middle of the map, right? Like, the entire game, Astrea has just completely controlled this central area. His army has always been here. It's almost like he was built into the map. Like, you might be able to move it around a little bit, but it's always there because it's meant to be there. That's what it feels like. I mean, that's how impressive his army has been in taking position. But that hatchery will go down. So we knock down a hatch, and now this Tempest Archon force moves elsewhere. Going to relocate a little bit. There's a Queen getting surrounded. Nidus in the bottom corner, going down too. As the Tempest Archon force going to come back around. Revelation into the center. Shadow Strike continue to build. We've seen a couple of hatcheries coming up as well. And +3 carapace coming in, the hatch is coming over. And settle down for a little bit. In the top left, I mean, I love this little harassing squad of units. Feels like it has actually a lot of potential. Something so has to respect. He's going to hit the bottom right with a Ling run by at the same time. Broodlords will get there to clean the top, but does that maybe mean Astrea can move in a position? He now knows where the Broods are. He can either work around them or force a fight toward them if that's what he feels like he can get away with, perhaps. So, opportunities there. We'll see again how Astrea handles this as this situation progresses. Shadow Stride coming through too. The additional Archons all coming into play. Archons and Tempest continue to come through. Let's drop a little Revelation down. Just going to be seeing the hatch getting caught. DT going to continue to get onto a couple of those Zerglings. A little bit more damage being dealt there. A few more shots coming over. Tempest flying away. I mean, some more shots continue to come about. Just going to be seeing the Spine's going to be in trouble there too, since hits continue to come about from afar. So that's going to get there. The hatchery going to go down. So see that dropping in the next few moments. Few drones dropping from Serral. Bank-wise, Astrea has a ton of gas. Serral has quite a bit of gas as well, but Astrea has much more. Astrea also has 14,000 minerals at the moment. So that's obviously a crap ton of money that he has to work with. So Astrea in a fantastic spot in terms of money to spend. Archon's Tempest actually chasing Infestors there, which don't really want to be losing. I think Astrea is really kind of putting Serral into a little bit of a, I want to say a little bit of a checkmate. He's playing a fantastic game of Starcraft too, honestly. I mean, Astrea, the story of this group for me is just that Astrea has surprisingly impressed us. Like, you know, I expect Astrea to be good. I did not expect Astrea to be this good. I didn't expect him to be this good yesterday. And when he played yesterday, I was like, man, I'm really looking forward to see what he does against Serral, because it kind of makes me feel as though he might actually have a chance if he's playing this good, because he was playing that good yesterday. Apparently he really is as well, because here he is now controlling the game versus Serral, 25 minutes deep in Serral's best playing field, his best battleground of the late game. Astrea has been controlling this game throughout. God, has Astrea just become like a whole new beast? Like, when the hell did this happen? I'm genuinely so amazed and impressed. Couple of, well, a fungal comes down, so a shot or two coming off over there. We'll be seeing another Stormosaur coming through as well. Probably going to get chased around. The Broodlords will come back across. Wow. Serral's just going to say GG. Serral just doesn't think he can fight the army. Wow. Doesn't even let the game continue through. Serral's just like, no, I can literally never kill this. Oh god, I forgot the music. God damn it. Hopefully we don't get demonetized from that. 10 seconds. Wow. There you go. There you go, guys. Just like that. Well, Astrea ties us up 1-1. I mean, like I said, Serral just didn't even want to stick around in that game. He just knew it was not going his way. He was just getting bullied for a long time as well. It's one of those moments where you GG with a lot of supply, but he knows fine well that supply is just not good enough. The money he has is just not good enough. Absolutely fantastic game from Astrea. I cannot stress enough how well he played that one. Like, he just was controlling. He was, you know what he was really good at was he was so good at poking around the map from such an early stage. He established himself on the map. And by establishing himself on the map, I really think he did a lot to sort of just not let Serral get some of the bases that Serral might typically get up to on a usual kind of day-to-day basis in these games. And Astrea was so good. I was convinced at multiple points Astrea was like, okay, he did a good job, but he's going to tech up now and sit back a little bit. He was the aggressor all game, which is so anti-Protoss, right? Like, Protoss players are not really used to being kind of out on the map all game long, like, hey, look, we're the stars of the show. A lot of the time when pros play late game, it's like, okay, I'm going to build up to my air army. I'm going to poke around here and there if I can, maybe later in the game with recalls and motherships to try and make some moves. But Astrea was just so consistent with it. Like, he never, ever really slowed down once he got started up. Absolutely fantastic game 2. We're going to go to game 3 here in just a couple of moments. Even if Astrea loses now, you'll be satisfied. At least we know it's possible. That's true. Damn. All right. Well, like I say, we're going to get ourselves into game number 3 here in just a moment. Amygdala is going to be our deciding map. Astrea obviously came in with a plan in this series. He was going to plan, played a more normal game on ley lines, came in with a funky kind of build, attempted all in on Abyssal Reef that did not work for him. And now we play on Amygdala. Put this away. Astrea versus Serral. Game number 3. Deciding map right here this series as we get this all up and running. I mean, I do kind of ask what Astrea brings to this game, because like I say, he's coming with a little bit of a different plan and a solid build order choice for each game so far, so I wonder if that continues into a game 3 now. How much does he have planned out? Does he have a third build prepared for this series? And the awesome part of Monster Coliseum is this is a big enough tournament for players to sit down and prepare some builds and to prepare some strats and to think about how they approach these matches. And that's exactly where someone like Astrea can shine, and obviously in this event so far has absolutely shone right like a star. If Astrea wins this, he's first place in the group. I mean, no doubt. Like, he would just be first place. I would actually make Shin, Serral potentially just a win or die in the entire tournament matchup. That's scary for ZVZ. So much of this group becomes question markable if you get to the point of going into Astrea winning. Wild. Absolutely wild. I love it though. I absolutely love it as well. Amazing. Now we settle down. Hatch, gas. Spawning pool coming up as we take a few moments to get into this here. Next is coming up. Just going to be seeing a second gateway early from Astrea, so already a little bit funky. Maybe some 2-gate pressure. You don't see 2-gate pressure a lot, but if you get 2 adepts out early, you can obviously get across the map and threaten the drone line a little bit more heavily. So yeah, second gateway coming online here from Astrea as we prep ourselves on Amygdala. Interesting map with the gold base available in the center, but that's going to be tough to take. If someone can control the middle of the map, they can pretty much deny their opponent from having that gold. And obviously you got to play around the 2 different sides of the map, those 2 avenues left and right, until the middle of the map opens up as well, which is also interesting. Plus you get the watchtowers to help you control those areas, so very interesting setups that we're getting right here. Ling's going to go after a probe for a couple of moments. The probe's going to take some damage. And Link speed coming up, Patrick coming through. Get rid of the high ground. Overlord. A couple of devs moving up. The Ling's going to be there as well. I'm going to get pushed away. I'm just going to go shading onto the map, and we'll see if this depth pressure can get anything done. Still waiting. I mean, we actually just go 3rd and 4th gate. Wow. 3rd and 4th gate builds a 3rd nexus. I wonder if that's truly a 3rd nexus. I mean, 4 gates without a tech structure is very interesting. There's going to be a lot of units very quickly. Serral's building a roach roll, which would suggest you're probably going to be okay against this. Are we just gonna build a bunch of adepts and just send it? Definitely feels like that right now, doesn't it? So a bunch of adepts. I mean, like I say, the road drone should keep you very safe here as Serral. Alright, this is going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be genius and I'm going to love it, or it's going to flop and I'm going to hate it for the fact that he didn't play another macro game after that second game. Adepts are going to shade forward. That's a full wall off, so we're going to block the adepts initially. Again, these are not, glaive adepts or anything. These are just boring old adepts, and Astrea now gets the Twilight Council going behind it, so he's just going to try and threaten as much as he can with these adepts initially, and keep Serral busy. So there's some adepts over here, some adepts still threatening the natural, but the wall off there has been good to kind of deny them. Yeah, they have not moved in because of that wall off, so that's going to be completely golden. Coming back the other direction again, Lings and Roaches joining up as well. Things going to get wrapped around onto a few adepts, so those adepts going to start going down. The Lings keep moving about as well. Adepts now moving the other direction for a few moments here as we continue to settle down and get set up. The adepts continue to go forwards again. Just going to keep hitting these mineral lines. Constant attempted pressure, but Roach is in position, so these adepts will not last long. Serral continues to defend well. Is the tale as old as time. But definitely a I mean, that's the problem with this build, I feel like, from Astrea. Like, you commit to, like, very delayed tech. If you don't get anything done, are you just now in a lot of trouble? How does this work? He's going to be on a way later blink. If Serral realizes what's happened and that he's defended so well, maybe he can even go into just him, set himself up into kind of like a bit more greed, right? He can just kind of unit up, for, drone up for a bit longer than usual as well, but Serral's not currently doing that, so maybe he doesn't have a full idea of what's happened here. Because I don't think there's anything that's going to be dangerous to you anytime soon. Serral getting a Bane Nest as upgrades come in. He's just started upgrades, so he shouldn't be looking to attack, but he is cutting to 63 drones and making a lot of units right now. I mean, this might just be to deal with these Stalkers, and then he's going to macro on from there, but at the moment he's definitely not quite fully on the macro setup as Ling Roach Ravager comes over. A couple of Force Fields are going to get popped by the Corrosive Vials. That's the Stalker step up, Queens on either side. Roaches and Ravagers will take some damage as well. Continue to fight as the Lings and the Roaches push on through. A couple of Corrosive Vials dropping in from the skies, so they're going to come about also. Stalker's still seeing if there's opportunity here. Once Blinkers up, obviously these Stalkers become a lot better, and they have gotten to that stage. Now Serral is obviously on his way to his hive, but Astrea's on his way to the Robo Base second facility, so his entire army is going to develop from this point. It's going to be a very different comp to what we saw last time, as the Colossus are likely going to take to the stage to begin with. So, yeah, Astrea playing very differently from that kind of Archon Immortal Storm that we saw, that poking forwards at the start of Ley Lines. So, yeah, early game, Astrea already being very differently set up in comparison to last game. Colossus coming by, just going to have ourselves the Prism loading up, going to get on the move. These odds there will start to come across as, again, the Hive getting going, get that started. It's just going to be seeing the Baneling speed, and plus 2 missiles is on the way. Drone on the way up as well. Stalker's going to pull back down the bottom as Ling Roach Ravager chases. That hatchery did go down, so the Stalker's got the kill on the hatchery. That's a big deal in the grand scheme of things, especially if Astrea can play well defensively back at home. I mean, that was Serral's 4th base. He's double expanding right now to 4th and 5th, the 5th being the gold, which obviously Astrea has not been super active in the middle of the map, so you can probably get away with the gold base for now, so that is a bonus. So yeah, get away with that, get the gold base while you can. It may not be something you can have forever, right? So yeah, take control of that one while it's open to you. Stalkers, Colossus, Zealots coming up as well. Bane, Roach Ravager continuing across. Just going to come straight over here. Adrenal glands, +2 missiles, +2 melee. Going to continue to come by. Colossus gonna fire up. A few Stalkers come over as well. And Bane just gonna continue to chase. I mean, this is Astrea kind of getting caught a little bit. Now the Colossus are putting good damage in on the Lings. Can we keep the Colossus alive so far? Yes. I love that. A lot of the Banes went down, so we started to let some Zealots slip through into the fight. And the Colossus get out of there having dealt, honestly, quite a lot of damage. So Colossus live. It turned out okay for Astrea. The chase from Serral was not quite as dominant as it kind of looked as though it was going to be at the start. Definitely felt at first it was going to be a big commitment, but not the case. Storm coming through, +2 attack coming online. Couple more mortals coming up as well, so we bring those through for the moment, get all of that coming. And the Storm and the +3 attack upgrade also producing for the moment. There you go, Serral actually going to attack forward. Storm not done quite yet, so the High Templars are just going to go running. Getting chased by Banelings though, don't even morph them into Archons, so a bunch of High Templar go down. And if we had Storm, this would have already been a different fight, but I think it's actually already good enough for Astrea. Just a shame he couldn't save the High Templar or even morph them into Archons. A bit of greed and trying to be like, oh, you know what, if I can maybe just, if I can maybe just kind of, keep them alive, I have my Storms available soon, but that is just greedy. In a world where you have energy overcharge to set new High Templar up very quickly anyway, I think that's just greedy. That could have been a couple of Archons morph, and that would have been an even better fight for Astrea, because honestly it was pretty good for him anyway. So good so that he's actually coming back across the map to look to maybe create an engagement. High Templar's lagging behind, no energy on them yet, so needs to be a little cautious of timing when he goes with those and when he doesn't, but generally looking very comfortable. Storm's coming down, Roach Ravager getting hit across those Storms at the moment. A couple more Colossus going to fire up. The Roach Ravager Bane gets turned the other direction. The Viper will go down. I think it's actually going to get through. Ooh, I need to see Serral being able to succeed on some aggression. That's been one of the issues. He's not been able to get anything going for himself in any of those fights, right? So Serral actually being able to succeed with some of those run buys is going to do a lot for him. So Serral will see a lot of benefits coming from that, as the couple of Archons you have to turn back around and go the other way. Archon's still trying to fight. The Immortals are going to step up as well. The battery continues to heal up some probes. You step through. Those Lings are going to step away. Roaches are going to move their way into the natural expansion. And Lingbane Roach continues to come about for a little bit longer. A good Storm on the bottom side. The Ling Roach going to take a lot of damage. Colossus getting chased. Immortals going to get hunted down as well. There's one Colossus going down there. The few Zealots going to charge in from the bottom side also. Trying to get across. I mean, Astrea, and both players are going to lose a lot. Astrea's losing a lot of probes during this, so 14 probes go down. I feel like that's... I mean, honestly, this was, I think, good for Astrea because he keeps some of his tech units alive. And Bane's over here still rolling through. I mean, the economies are fine for Astrea. He's actually on equal worker count. Astrea is winning this game. He's winning this series, guys. Serral's in trouble. Serral is in trouble as Astrea has been an absolute superstar in this tournament so far. And he's honestly, I'm kind of sad that this tournament's so dragged out, because I want to see Astrea in this form next week in the playoffs, you know? We're not going to see Astrea for another 4 weeks in this tournament. Holy, I mean, how did he... he's just playing amazing. He's genuinely just playing amazing. Now, this game's not won yet. Serral is rebuilding up, but he's not reproducing any workers, so Serral's economy is a little bit in the gutter, like, compared to where he wants it to be, absolutely. I mean, 58 drones is really not a lot to work on, so that part of this is not looking pretty for him. It's all going to get cancelled on Astrea's attempted gold. That's maybe one issue, is that Astrea only currently has 4 bases up. Okay, Astrea is actually really struggling to rebuild supply compared to Serral. Now, Serral's building cheap units, but sometimes quantity does work over quality. Oh man, I really... Astrea's supply, like, really just halted, didn't it? Loses 9 more probes as well. Like I say, Serral just building up. Finally adds a couple of drones in as he decides to stop just going for pure units. But, I mean, he's pretty much maxed out. And Astrea, this is not the time to be moving now, because Serral made such a commitment to units. Now, again, the quality of Astrea's army is extremely good. Like I say, sometimes you just get overwhelmed, though. That's a run-by at the front. The Zealot on hold position will need some reinforcements. Additional Zealots get warped in. That run-by looks as though it'll be held away. What's interesting now is that if Serral doesn't commit with that army he made a really low-tech army, and now he's going to have to find a way to slowly filter that out into higher-tech units. So this run-by doesn't do much, but it frees up supply for a couple of Vipers. He morphs some Banelings. It's even more Zerglings, though, in fact, so maybe he is just going to send it like this, and with a couple of Vipers can abduct some of the key units forward. It would be really critical if Astrea could find a feedback on some of those Vipers just to stop, like, Colossus or, like I said, just any major unit from being abducted in. Keep those alive as long as possible in this upcoming fight, and he will absolutely stand a chance as his supply finally is getting back on track up to 150. Like I say, I think it's just because Astrea is not building a lot of bulk. It is every unit he has right now is a high-quality unit. There's not even really any Zealots in this army. Shows up over here. I love this Prism going hunting, just seeing, hey, can I find myself a little Storm initially? And he does find a little Storm. He gets a couple of shots off with that. He's going to find another good Storm. Hits quite a few units with that. Hatchery on the gold goes down, so Astrea able to bully his way in position. Serral looking for the wraparound, looking to come in from maybe 2 angles if he is going to have to fight this. Lings in the counterattack again. Astrea losing probes. Astrea's down to 44 workers, so his economy is not good. Does that force Astrea into having to commit to the fight himself? Does he actually have to be the aggressor now because he feels like his eco is too far back? He might, and that could be an issue as we see Serral going to come in from all angles. Storms are pretty good. Are the Storms good enough to clean up some of his final Banelings? They were okay. I just don't think it was good enough. Serral's going to do it. Oh my god, I really thought Astrea had this game. I really thought Astrea had this game as he fights his final battle. Serral is going to take the series, but my goodness. That was... I really thought Astrea had it. There was just... I think he just lost a few too many probes, and he just couldn't quite rebuild back up as fast as Serral did. And maybe he didn't need to... And the problem was he probably didn't want to fight there, but he kept getting hit by run-bys, and he wasn't controlling those run-bys well enough. He kept losing economy, so I think he felt forced to all in... Okay, I forgot the music. God damn it. I hate having to mute that. Yeah, I think that probably forced his hand a little bit in terms of, like, he felt like he just absolutely had to send it or else this was doomed, you know? Damn, hell of a series from Astrea. I think he's safe, honestly. Taking a map off Serral, I think he's genuinely going to be safe in this group because I think it's going to be very, very difficult for anyone to overtake him map score-wise. Like, Shin. I mean, okay, I guess if Shin 2's Cure... I mean, Shin could beat Serral. I mean, maybe it is possible, man. It just seems unlikely. Well, we'll see if Astrea has done enough to advance on through. Up next, Serral is going to play Shin in some ZVZ action. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Serral versus Shin coming up in a few moments as we continue our way through the StarCraft 2. There's going to be some highlights. I will put some background StarCraft sounds on. But we can't play the clean feed because they keep playing copyrighted music. My YouTube streams are getting demonetized because of it, so I need to do my best to get it up. Like I say, we'll add our own StarCraft sounds between the games. I've got a Speed Racer to go on the tree. Let me put you on the tree. I'm going to go check on Ellie, see what she's up to. Chilling on her own downstairs. Speed Racer, thank you so much. You're also a gingerbread man. Isn't that lovely? I love these new decorations. I've just dropped you on the floor. I'm so sorry. Oh. There's a lot of empty branches around here. I appreciate that's around the back, but we need to fill out the whole tree, so. Alright guys, I will be right back. Go check on Ellie, and we'll come back for some Serral Shin action, some ZVZ up next. Alrighty guys. Yesterday, it was a couple of minutes between matches. No timer on the screen, so I can't imagine it'll be too long getting the ZVZ ready. Next match is going to be Serral versus Shin, some ZVZ coming up. Serral. Oh, look at that result. That 3-2 to Shin. You guys know what that one is. That was the Katowice run that Shin upset. Never forget that one. Man, these two really do not play that often. And Shin, not a great day for him yesterday. 2-0 by Astrea. That looked very bad for him, but now Astrea's looked really good. But that doesn't exactly help him get out of the group. So it's like, it was better for him now that Astrea's been really good. So yeah, it's a thing that Astrea, it's one thing that Astrea was very good, but like I say, that doesn't help you get out of the group. It just makes you maybe feel like, okay, well, I guess if he's playing that good, there's not as much shame in losing, right? But man, because he did kind of get walloped yesterday. He just didn't get to play the game at all. Get ready for this ZVZ right now. Get this set to go. See if Serral can survive through one of the more volatile matchups here. After this, Kyo will be playing Shin as well. It's very possible Kyo Shin just becomes a series which just does not matter. That is a possibility. Why won't this mute? Pressing the wrong button. That's why. So that is a possibility. We get into Serral versus Shin ZVZ, guys, so away we go. Into some Starcraft here. If Serral wins this, he's 3-0 first place. Shin is 0-2, Kura is 0-2. Serral would be first, Astrea would be second. So that's plain and simple how this goes, and then, like I say, Shin versus Kura becomes... I guess, is there a difference in prize money between third and fourth place of a group, is the question. Yes. It's basically a $75 money match that it becomes, so... yeah, it kind of goes into that. Get ready to rumble. And welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Here today for some Masters Coliseum action. Not going to be a super long stream from me today because it's just going to be Masters Coliseum. We did have a long first series though, which is nice. Definitely helps. Just obviously we're in the ZVZ now, and we all know that ZVZ can be pretty feisty, quick, and be over in a moment. So we'll see how it goes. See how this pans out. Actually comes up and gets settled down over there as we get underway. It's going to take a couple moments. It's going to settle down. Hatcher coming in at the front. We do have a couple moments again. Set links be coming through. Drones, lings, all coming about as well. So just going to get all of that underway for the moment. See where we are going. Going to be seeing a couple of lings moving around. That link speed coming up as well, so we get that on the way. We get that on the go for the moment. Again, lots of lings. That link speed all coming up. Let's see, Bailey going off. Fueling's going to go down. Two shots coming through. A couple of Banes are going to connect in over on the sides. It's a little bit of damage being dealt. Lings and Banes going to go back and forth for a little while here. And try and see what more we can do. You've seen the Ling's going to come running about, obviously. Ling Bane always very aggressive back and forth for a little bit. As we get through the Ling Bane phase, we are going to start making our way towards Roaches. Just going to start getting that up and running as well. Bring that all through. Lings and Banes continuing about. Yeah, we move across for a little bit here and there. Nothing too crazy going on really though. Just setting up in this phase of the game. Thing's gonna get a quick little grab as well. Again, just little bits and pieces going on here. As do have our missile upgrades coming about. Laren drones on the way in as well. Just gonna be seeing the Overlord moving around on that bottom side. And the Lings will keep making their way over as well. Let's see, the Lings gonna run about. Roach is gonna be there too. Obviously able to start to take just a little bit of damage right now. I'm just going to be having the Queen continue to go after that. Again, +1 missiles coming up, Roach speed on the way, Overlord speed building as well. Yeah, if Serral wins this, he'll be 3-0 in the group. Shin will be, like I say, fighting Cure just for some money difference between 3rd and 4th. Spire's on the way up from Shin, so we're getting that going right away here. Get that set up immediately. And Queen will go out the other direction. Obviously, it's still going to move about. The Queen still continue to whack away at it. So, again, little bits of damage being done still for now. See, the Overseer going to fly all the way back over this direction. Ling's gonna go chase a few other Lings, so Ling's chasing Lings for a little bit as well. Roach is gonna get there, Lings get chased away. Drop Lord is gonna be denied, so Serral just trying to get a little bit fancy already, on his way to the Hydra Den too. As he is gonna get himself some anti-air up and established. That said, Shin is only just making a handful of meters now. I think the Hydra Den's going to be in plenty of time to protect Serral, so I don't think he's going to really face any issues there. I think he's actually going to be pretty much alright. Just the Lings and the Roaches move back across. Just for the moment. He's going to go after the Overlord there, so again, just a little bit of a chase going after that for a few moments. Going to have ourselves the Hydra's already out. I don't think those meters are going to do anything. The fact that we made Hydras is not an issue for Serral. I think his army's big enough that Shin is not going to be able to just show up with a major army and be like, haha, you made some Hydras, let me overwhelm you. I don't think Serral's army is in that kind of a position at all. I think he's absolutely fine right here as those meters get chased back. Roach is actually going to get a dive onto some of those other Roaches though, and that's going to be nice. A little bit of a jump forward straight away. Well, that definitely helps, but I mean, Serral, like I say, to me, is always going to have the numbers to fight back against this. I don't think this is an issue for him at all. This is looking like a pretty comfortable defense, and mostly just because I think his Hydras are going to go more, and do more than what his opponent's, Mutalisks have done, which is really very minimal, to be fair. Really not a lot coming out about that at all, as the Roach Raft is still moving about. Roach Hydra coming through again. Roach Gravity getting chased one more time. Just going to move up. The feed meter is going to come back along. Just going to go after the Overlord. Trying to get a hold of that, but not quite able to. And the Roach going to sit in the back there as well. Settle back down this game. Serral is really forcing his way up and forwards. I don't really blame him. I think it makes sense, right? You go push yourself up a little bit right now. Your army's better with Hydras, usually. I mean, Hydras are interesting because I guess Ravages are the same as Hydras, but then they also have that corrosive file ability, which is nice. I think Serral just had the advantage off of not having had to make the meters. I think that really, as I keep saying it, I think it really comes back to being a lot. Do have the roaches coming back around. Carapace coming up. Settling ourselves here for a moment or two. Roach's gonna get jumped on. His Shin's gonna try and come back the other way. Serral lost out on a little bit on the other side, but we settle back through that now, and it does not seem to be that much of an issue. Seem to just be getting this solved. And again, Roach is just going to continue to run up, just going to get into position right there. Not going to do too much overall. Tommy is going to come back down from Shin, so he's going to come pushing straight across, see what we can do. Yeah, what's up, Corn76? Thank you so much for the 15-month resub. Watching the caster go, casting the game with the goat. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. As our fight here breaks out, Serral is just going to be absolutely fine. His supply is absolutely in his favor. Don't think that is going to be an issue at all. It's going to be a very easy hold, I think, actually. So, yes, that is going to be a defense. Have Roger's going to come back around. Just going to be seeing a few of the Roaches and Ravagers going to get jumped on them. Just going to be seeing those Roaches continue to drop. I mean, we lose a hatchery, but Serral's numbers are obviously huge, and he's doing damage across the map at the same time as well, so things really do just look very good for him as GG gets called, and that is going to be that. Plain and simple. So, we're going to get ourselves, Serral, a 1-0 lead in this matchup. Next game coming up in a couple of moments. Shin just going to shake his head a little bit as he realizes that one just got away from him ever so slightly. Game 2 of Serral versus Shin on the way next, though. Can Shin bounce back, or will Serral decide this group? Him in first place, Astrea in second is what we're headed to right now, pending the... pending the current game wrapping up. Frostline going to be our map, by the way. So getting the Frostline here in just a second. So CA number 2 on Frostline, get that ready to roll. Serral versus Shin. Alright, in we go. Oh my god, and I forgot to mute the music. Oh, the stream has been demonetized. God damn it. Why am I so bad at remembering to do that when it's so seemingly important? Yeah. Alright, well. Worst things have happened in the world. We'll make it. We'll be okay. Alright, Overlord's moving out as we get ready to go. It's so frustrating having to try and remember to do that every time. Just gonna see our hatchery coming down as we get ourselves set up for the first few moments here. So we just get this all settled in. Hatch coming up again, a couple of spawn pools, gases, all coming by, so hatch gas and pool coming in for just a moment here. The overload continues to get set up as well, so bring that into play. Drones mining up again, hatch gas pool, all coming by for the moment. Let's just get ourselves a little bit of setting up. About link speed coming up on either side. It's going to be having our overlord still moving over a little bit. A couple of lings coming about as well as we make our way into the middle of the map right from the get-go here, guys. Just going to get that set up straight away. And link speed coming by, hatchery, drones, all building as well, so we continue to get that on the go for the moment. A couple of lings will show up and they're going to go straight in toward that hatchery, so hatchery will take some shots of damage. Couple lings gonna take shots off the queen. Again, just a little bit more being done for a couple of moments. As lings continue around over on the left there, so it's gonna see those lings moving about a little bit. Things coming about. Just going to be seeing a little bit of action starting out there. And Rotron coming on both sides. A couple of drones and zerglings all producing through as we just have our hatchery set up over on the right as well. Rotron building up. Evolution Chamber going to be on the way from Shin as well, so he's not looking to just spam roaches and go. Serral's making a lot of overlords. Does he have any intention of just spamming roaches and going? The link gets in there from Shin, from Serral, so he gets a full scout to see what's going on in the base. Serral with a baneling on the way up as well, looking to be pretty safe about that at the moment. I'm just going to transfer about as well, so they're just going to come straight over. And again, Roach is coming up on either side at the moment. Get this on the way. Oh, Roach is continuing towards the upper right-hand side. Just going to go pushing straight across. Serral, like I say, is not really looking for the future. He's looking for the here and now. That's why all those overlords were on the way. Sort of felt like that was the plan. I'm just surprised by it, because I wouldn't say there's been anything in particular that's kind of suggested that that should be the way we go about it, but alas, here we are. And we're just going to step up, just going to step through for a moment, just going to have ourselves the couple of shots coming about. We've seen a lot of shots coming through right there. Just going to be seeing those roaches of Serral trying to push through, but I just don't think he has what he needs to really make his way all the way through that. As you can see, this is clearly not going well enough right now, so yep, that is not going to be good enough at all. Shin will survive, and now Shin's going to be very close to +1 missiles. Didn't even have to cancel +1 missiles or anything for this, so yeah, this attack of Serral really does flop, and Shin is going to find himself in a great position. Actually going to probably build units himself and go and try and take advantage of the fact that he's going to have the upgrade lead, and I do not blame him at all for that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Go take advantage of what you're given in this game, which is that your opponent tried to come and kill you, and he's not been able to. You got away with your upgrade, upgrade as well. And now, in theory, as Shin, you should have an advantage. They're going to come across the map, and it's going to come pressing straight through. Let's see what happens. I mean, Serral is one of the masters of not dying when you're kind of meant to die, which is perhaps what he's going to try and pull off on this one. Maybe. We'll see if it's truly possible for him right now. As Roach and Shin show up, I mean, Serral's making a pretty good defense of it so far, I would say, so not bad up until this point. Spire on the way from Shin, who's saying, hey, look, I've got a lead, so if I've got a lead, let's do this. But man, Shin really threw away his units there. That was not it at all. But I get it, like, you've got the upgrade lead, you should have the numbers lead. But that's the problem. Serral is so good at surviving in these situations where you're not really meant to survive. Unfortunately, that's going to be very costly. Obviously, it continues to set up. As you see, things gathering together. Oversteer overhead will take some damage as well, so we'll also be taking some shots. Again, +2 missiles and so coming through. As you just have the Overseer should go down in a moment. Queens will get there. Overseer will indeed fall. So that will be the end of that one. Again, a couple of mutas, few drones all on the way about here just for the moment, so we get all of that settled. It's going to come through as well. Just going to have our Hydras coming up, the Spore Crawler on the way in as well. A bit of everything at the moment, +2 missiles continues to produce. This is going to fly in. I mean, this is where Shin will try and utilize his lead, right? Invest into that Spire and seeing if he can make something happen. But the problem is, so far, it does not seem as though much is going to be happening in the slightest. And Roaches, the Meter's coming over too, so do really continue with this at the moment as is going to sit there. Roach is going to take a little bit more damage again. Hydras on the way, +2 missiles. I mean, Shin just down on supply. The fact we've got Hydras and just a defense available for Serral is really becoming a problem here for Shin. He is not in a good spot in the slightest. He is looking to be in so many issues. It looks as though Serral is kind of just running away with this one in my eyes. Kind of just running away with this one, plain and simple. Not much to really read too heavily about it, right? As Hydra's are going to be there, Meters get pushed the other way. You're going to be seeing the Bane still coming up, the Queen and the melee upgrade coming by as well. Roach Hydra going to get forward as well. Just going to get a few more shots off. Killing's going to get in, so that's going to be something of annoyance as Shin tries to slow Serral down any way possible currently. He's going to fly back across. To be fair, actually a lot of drones going down for Serral all of a sudden, and oh, maybe that's going to give you a chance. The meters are going to be in good numbers. Spawn a couple of Hydras here will not last very long, so Serral actually not controlling these meters at all. He's just going across the map. He's going to force the base trade. And the question will be, will you have enough to force the base trade with right now is pretty much our question mark. Not sure if we necessarily do, but I suppose we're about to find out as our Roach is still pressing up as well. Is overhead, a few Banes ready to crash through. Hydra's on that top side, going to be impactful as well, I would only imagine. And Shin is actually going to be able to get this cleaned up, and that's going to give him a shot again. And Serral is still on the natural, but he's killed off a lot, Shin has. I mean, like I say, it's a question of can Serral get rid of the mutas. If you can't get rid of the mutas, I mean, if these Hydras are not enough, then this ain't going to be it. Serral definitely making this a whole lot more complicated than it ever initially seemed like it was going to be. The Hydra's turn, the mutas take a lot of shots. Shin's supply is plummeting, but Serral's will plummet harder in a moment. Here's just flying, a couple of roaches still going down. Well, Spire coming up, 3 more Hydras on the way, so Shin actually going to try and rebuild the Spire here as he really relies on the mutas at this point. Try and make this winnable. He's just going to keep flying about as well. Going to fly in, Extractor going to take a few shots of damage. Hydra's going to get in the main, going to be able to take down a Spire. As the Spire goes down, Drone's still being killed. Like, I mean, Serral's not giving up on the counterattacks and the base tradiness of this, but he still needs to be able to deal with the mutas. If you can't deal with the mutas, then you're going to continue to be in trouble, right? So you've got to be able to deal with that to some extent. Just going to get a Spine Crawler there as well, so just going to be able to grab that. And these mutas obviously have made this game very interesting. Shin is going to get a bunch of Banes morphed in. That feels amazing, because if you can get those Banelings up, they're going to be one of the better answers to the Hydras. And obviously, if you shut down the Hydras right now, I think there's a lot you can get away with, or a lot you can be very happy with at this point in time. Banes continue through. Continue to move around a little. There are the Banes. Hydras have to split away. They have to minimize the damage right now, so doing everything that they can as the Banes do crash in, though. The mutas here as well. Serral's going to lose a lot, but is it too much? I mean, Serral at 54 supply still has more works at this point as well, so that's also... I mean, this game is just kind of crazy. The Lings keep moving about. The mutas are going to be there too. Going to get in overhead and just going to get above those Zerglings as we keep on chasing those around. Hydra's still building. I'm going to say GG apparently, as he just doesn't have enough mutas. Kind of a sad ending. I kind of really believed, you know? I kind of really believed that this was going to be all good. But not quite the case. Serral taps out of there. He is not. He's not sticking around. I don't think he's too happy with how that went. I think he expected some easier games than what he ended up with. Yo, Cuckoo Roos, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. As Serral gets a big win today, to take first place. Let me get Corn76 and Cuckoo on the tree. And we'll take a couple of moments. Put some Starcraft backing music on for you guys. We'll take a couple of moments as we wait for this final series to come up. So Shin and Q are both eliminated. Serral will finish this group in first place. Shin, Astrea in second. Shin and Kira will just fight straight up for third versus fourth. This is a difference of about $75. It's not ideal, but you got to play the match, so you may as well play for the $75, right? You may as well make the most of it. $75 is better in your pocket than the other guys. At the end of the day, that is how the logic would go. Let me get you guys on the tree. That's beautiful gingerbread. Welcome, guys. Mr. Holland 420, thank you so much for the Prime sub. You can also join the tree as a gingerbread man. Yeah, I'm rotting myself right now. Ay. Alright, let me, Mr. Holland, and then we'll, take a moment or two. How those highlights play. Thanks so much for the Prime sub. You guys are enjoying the stream. To consider supporting goes a long way, helps us to keep on running our own Starcraft 2 events as well as casting others. So we do enjoy the content. Like I say, consider supporting, helps out a whole bunch. I really appreciate it. Shin versus Q are coming up. So we got full on ads now. Full on ads. Mr. Holland 420, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Alright. I'll be right back in a couple of moments, guys. We'll get more StarCraft going ASAP. As we wait for Shin versus Q to come around. Hello. You got a bottom spot on the tree? Just trying to fill out anywhere we can go. I actually kind of like the bottom ones, because I actually look at the bottom ones a lot when I turn around and look at it. The bottom ones look really pretty. Like, the bottom ones don't always show up on stream so much, but, like, when I'm in the room, like, when I'm looking at it, like, it's really nice when all the ones at the bottom are just, like, hanging free, because they all just, like, hang freely, you know? Now, the ones at the bottom are actually pretty cool. I think it's a pretty good place on the tree. Look, it's a, yeah. You know, at the end of the day, someone somewhere has to go somewhere on the tree. We have to fill out all the spaces. There's not just prime positions for everybody, unfortunately. You like it? Oh yeah. I don't think anyone has actually been bothered about where they go on the tree in terms of like, oh my god, you put me on the bottom, or you put me on the back. Funny. Alright, we're in. Just want to make sure we're clear of the music. Try and stay monetized if we can. Might be too late today. Alright. Away we go as we get up to the top. We get to begin. As we got us all set up, gonna see where we're gonna go, see what the plan is gonna be. We're going to come across, going to see this spawning pool coming up, command center of the hatchery coming in as well. What's up, Mushon FR? Thank you so much for the 16-month resub. Welcome back. Appreciate it. And get your decoration ready. Yeah, kind of sad that this series plays out in the order that it does, because obviously now we know that this match is just basically for $75, which is just obviously way less exciting what the Masters Coliseum is typically meant to be about. As Ruby comes through, what's going to be seeing the Queen going to get pushed away. See SCC coming up over here as well, so we got that all rolling. I'm just going to come about, chase that SCV down for a couple of moments. So thanks for coming up. A couple of Hellions are on the way out as we get this all going here for a couple of moments. Like I say, get this all set up, see where we're going to go. Just going to be having an SEC build, and again, a couple of Hellions building up also. He's having a Banshee coming up, Cloak coming through. Yeah, Cloaking coming up, again, a couple of Hellions, the Banshee moving across as well. See the grenade going down, the Queen's just going to get pushed back as well. Punches on the way, obviously going to provide some harass as well. Everyone's just gathering around the bottom, just going to be settling down. It's going to be seeing the stim coming over. The lag comes up, mainnet's coming through, the evolution chamber's coming about as well. We're going to get a lot of this on the way. All those racks all coming on in. One's going to be there, the Banshees get pushed down to the bottom. Banshees going to get a few drones, Secure able to get in for a little bit of damage. Now, the way that this has been going recently between these two, I would absolutely favor Shin. But, man, Shin just hasn't looked good in this event the last day or two, which is sad because, like I say, he's been so good recently. It's sad to see that kind of going. Marines tanks coming over. Just going to be seeing a couple of Banshees coming about as well. As, yeah, Marines and the tank just going to gather in there for a little bit. We have our aliens going to get rid of a Zergling, so that's going to be a nice little catch as well on top of everything else. Adjutant coming through, drones, lings, melee upgrades, bane speed, producing on up. You're looking to try and catch these units already. Having that bane speed enables him to kind of take some of these better fights right off the bat. But obviously engaging off creep into a group of Marines and Hellions, especially if your opponent's paying attention and just watching, is unlikely to really succeed for you. So not surprised to see that that is going to be a little bit of a factor there. Right, how about? About for the moment. Like I say, Kira just pushing into position here and trying to get set up early. Definitely something which Kira is very akin to doing. Being very popular from him, always being kind of an aggressive player. But he's building a fourth base behind this as well, so this is not necessarily just going to be a straight up kind of, you know, push and never stop pushing. It's not going to be an 8 racks. Just initial setup and at first. He has to start doing something. I mean, it feels as though Shin's already getting great control of the map. 5 bases. Creep spread really get in front of those bases as well. So that part of this is already looking amazing for you as we get set up in the early moments. The Marines going to think about maybe diving up toward the high ground. Maybe there's something that they can do as the Marine tank continues around as well. And Bane's going to jump onto some of those Marines. Hellbats and the Siege Tank's going to be there. Again, Marines going to be there as well. Push the Ling Hydra away back to the other side. Going to be our help. Army setting up in 2 different positions, so again, Kira trying to control this map as best as he can at the moment. So we've seen the Ling's going to get a wraparound, Tank's going to go down, so this portion of the army goes down. I was going to say I'm a little bit afraid of how spread out Kira is. I mean, Shin immediately capitalizes on just one portion of that army there, right? And like I say, I think that's something to keep in mind that, you know, if you spread yourself out too thinly, you are going to end up in some dangerous positions, and that was absolutely one of them. Just punished right away for that one as Ling Bane going to roll in here. Kaboom for 13 SCVs, 17 SCVs. Orbital Command taking some hefty damage as well. Marines down on the bottom side going to continue to try and fight their way through. I think it's fair to say that this one is absolutely going the way of the Zerg. Just shutting down a base, defending very easily. Shin is honestly looking extremely good right now, extremely comfortable in this game. There is going to be the GG, so Shin takes game number 1. Kind of just like that. Not really much to say on that one, guys. Shin just absolutely blasts him. Boom. No, music, no. God damn it. This is not getting monetized. There's no way. There's no way. I don't know what to do about this. Like, this is a I don't know what to do about the fact that they just keep playing music, apart from like, because clearly I'm not capable of remembering to mute it. I just don't know what to do. Like, I just not stream on YouTube. I don't think that's a good answer. So funny when we get lost in the music. I know, like the thing is, the music goes on, and I'm like, do 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 do, and then I'm like, no 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 no, stop stop stop, cancel cancel cancel. We're meant to be nullifying the music, and I'm just joining in on it. Ah, could be worse. Could be worse, guys. All right, thank you so much, Mushan, for the resub. Welcome to the tree. You're the last gingerbread man decoration that we have. Now, not to get you guys excited, but the next decoration up is a reindeer. Oh my god. Reindeers are coming to town. Okay, these guys are ready to play straight away. They ain't messing around. Full drones coming through. Depot coming about as we settle ourselves into this. Spawn pool will start early from Shin, so pool first from him. We'll see if something comes of that. In particular, here in the Masters Coliseum. Final match of the day, guys, like I say. Not destined to be a long stream when you only get 3 best of 3s. See how this game sets up for us. And Hunter going down on that natural and get that set up. Reaper Command Center orbital coming through. CC building on the natural, again Hatcher on the other natural. Drones coming up, Queen on the way as well. It's just getting a lot of that started up already. Factory building, command center on its way. We'll have our Queen gonna drop a little cryptomid down towards the front. It's yeah, triple CC gonna be the style of play here from QS. You're gonna get that triple command center all setting up right now. So we get that underway. Keep it coming about as well. Continue to get into this one. Filing speed and our drones continue to come up. Continue to have our, again, Hellions, Starport, Command Center coming by as we speak. So just continue to get all of that on the go for the moment. Bringing up as much of that as possible. Here's the Hellion. It's going to come over. Again, the Banshee and the Cloaking continuing up as well. Look at the Hellions caught there. We actually get one of them immediately with the Zergling, so that's going to be a nice catch. There's a couple of Creep Teamers still coming around. Again, the Cloak coming up. Banshee and the Hellion on the way through. Coming about right here. And still gathering up as well, so they will also settle into place. A couple of racks, the Cloak, the Stim, needs to come through. It's just going to be there. Banshee gets rid of a Creep Teamer. Again, the Evo Chamber's still coming up, the drone's coming in, and the Queen's coming over. Well, the upgrades are building online. The Stim Pack is building from Cure. See what Cure can do. I really feel like Cure set up for a nice position that last game, and then just started to spread himself out, never reinforced a single place, and just kind of lost in every position he was playing on. Which is a pretty rough way for things to go. But, yeah, did just kind of feel like he was, like I say, losing in every way possible. It's not exactly the most fun at times. There's a couple of Banshees going to head in toward the main base here. Things going to come about. A few Zerglings going down as well, so get some more damage done. The Lings have been very successful so far, just kind of shutting Cure down, stopping him from moving about. Nothing's going to be there. We're just going to chase the Lings away. More Bane's going to start coming up as well. I'm just going to be seeing the Marines and the Hellions still coming through. They're going to run straight through there. Going to be seeing the Marines going to get wrapped around. They're going to go down immediately. It does feel as though we're just seeing good success so far on the side of Shin. But Q actually has a little bit of a slight supply lead, so maybe there's still something to be said there. Banshee's going to fire it up, then going to deal some damage. Pretty good damage at that. A few shots coming about. He's going to get onto that hatchery again, so they're just going to be able to go straight through. Will not save those Banshees because the Overseer's there, but they turned around before it became a problem, so no shield for those. They are going to survive. All bets and the tanks still left over here as well. That's what I mean. Q just kind of seems to leave units around. Zergling's still coming about for a couple of moments. Bane's going to run through. The Hydra's going to be there as well. I mean, Q's starting to step on the creep a little bit to that bottom right side. Shin pretty well spread creep rise across the map at the moment, as we do see a few units even starting to step forward in towards that base. Counterattack comes in though, and Shin just says, okay, well, deal with this. Bane's going to crash through those depots. A lot of Banes will hit this mineral line. Those SCVs will not be saved. The Lings will absolutely shred everything else. But you've got to be able to survive at home, Shin. You cannot do this without having an answer to these units over here, and right now we do not really have the answer to those units over there. So he's going to run units away and just say, okay, well, I hope I've done enough to kind of justify giving up at least a base, if not more. making a ton of units right now. Needs to be able to engage into this. Down 30 army supply. He's going to need some good connections. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to find it. 22 additional Banes. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot. But we need a hell of a lot right now. Like, that's just the situation Shin has put himself into. It's like I say, I'm not sure if that's a guarantee right now. If that's enough of a guarantee so far. Two more drones and SCVs going down as Kyo pushes his way forward. Shin obviously using this time to try and build up, but still a 40 army supply difference. Units in his natural being a problem. I mean, you can argue Kyo is a little split up right now. I don't really think that is still going to be good enough. Here you go. Bane's going to roll in. Just going to be seeing the jump on this. Actually gets rid of some of the tanks pretty effectively. Some Banelings do get to reach those Marines at the end, too. That was a good effort, but I don't think it's good enough, as Shua is going to have another army showing up on the other side. He was producing throughout this, and that means that we are going to a third and final game of the Masters Coliseum Group A. A fight for 3rd/4th place in this one is pretty much where we are at. Alright, well, one final map for the day coming up right here. We got this set to go. Frostline to decide the series. Just ready to rumble. One final map today. Man, kind of wild that Shin has been such a dominant Zerg in the offseason, and in this tournament he might just go 0-3. Like, he was my 2nd place favorite for this group. Finishes in last place? Man, like, genuinely a little bit shocking. And don't get me wrong, these groups are tough, but this Group A is showing us some surprises. It'll be very fun to see how the rest of the tournament pans out. Definitely some things to look at there, I think. It'll be fun to see how everyone does in those other groups, see if we get some more upsets, maybe. Yeah, looking forward to it. Here's Kua. His opponent, obviously, Shin. As the end of this one. Apparently, I just left the music on again. I'm just going to accept that that's going to get demonetized, I think. Free monetization. Congratulations, whoever made that 10-second riff. You're going to get all my YouTube monetization for the Masters Coliseum. Ay. They're going to make dollars upon dollars off of that, guys. Incredible. Hatcher goes down as we get set up. Take a moment to see where we will go. As we head into Frostline. Tracks coming through. SCV on the way. Yeah, we'll see what Frostline. I mean, Frostline plays out pretty interestingly, kind of a fun base layout that's just not as kind of typical of maps as what we've kind of become accustomed to, I suppose. Burns mine about, Reaper gonna pop through them. I'm gonna drop a grenade down. Cause a little bit of an issue here and there. We'll continue to take some shots as we just have Queen popping through. Gonna go after that Reaper also. Just gonna go and try and clean that up, push that back. And drop a creep tumor down over here also. So again, just some progress on that one. Get that underway right from the start. still going down as well. Starport coming through, CC coming up. Aliens coming by, Starport and the Tech Lab coming on in as well, so we continue to get all of that on the go at the moment. And yeah, Barracks is going to move off that Tech Lab, going to go elsewhere for a moment or two here. Front coming online as well. Again, Cloak, Banshee. Just going to see Kira setting up to be able to put some harassment in. Control the game a little bit as well, just in case Shin gets especially aggressive. That's going to help you to make sure that you can kind of deal with any roaches and so on, so that should just help you out in that regard. It's too much of a surprise. Oh, that comes through initially from Shin. He does indeed have roaches out. I mean, they're just playing defensively, but like I said, it just means they can't get aggressive if the Banshee is out as well, so... And it provides nice coverage here as Kira. Something a little different from Shin as well with those roaches. I feel like he's been playing mostly the Lingbane, so... Yeah, a little bit of a different setup. As we make our way through initially. The depot coming down as we begin to get the wall off over at the front there. Again, Cloak on the way, Stimpak coming through. He's going to get rid of a couple of creep tumors, already kind of knocking our way through those. Got a little bit of creep being dealt with, the roaches going down. And coming through. Should be able to knock that back a little. Stim building, Marines on the way. Banshee's gonna go. A couple of drones go down. Some queens taking damage. Continues into that roach speed, so we'll continue to commit into that roach play for a little longer. We'll see what the Evo Chambers have in store for us. See if we're going to continue into missile upgrades, or if maybe this is going to be Lingbane support. Again, those Banshees moving around the top here currently. Figuring out where they want to go. Marines and Hellions join up together as well. Red roach speed, 1-1 upgrades again. Bit of everything still coming through at the moment. Skira has yet to really show us a bit of a push across the map, but I feel like that's only a matter of time before we get to that point. And Vax continue to come across. Again, Marines, Halberdians, and Siege Shanks will gather up at the front. Roaches and Ravage going to start knocking onto a little bit of the front here as well. Open up some rocks, open up some space. Shin creating some areas for himself to be able to move around. It's going low to find themselves an Overlord as well, so it's going to be able to grab that nice and quickly. Overlord going down is always a plus. I mean, anytime you can get rid of something like that, it's going to be very beneficial, right? So, it's going to grab that, no issues. The Marine's still coming over. And Roach will move over as well, see where we can get to. Actually going to try and grab that group of Marines, and it's looking like we might get there. We'll be able to jump straight through. Squawk Roll are going to be there as well. Those Marines going to... Oh, Medevac's going to get hit. Medevac takes some damage back away. 2-2 upgrades coming about as well. We continue to get that all on the go. Another Overlord going down. The Roach is still stepping forward. Tank Hellion. Now that continues to come through for a little bit, so in we go. It's going to be seeing the Marines just going to jump onto that Roach right there, so that's going to go down as well. Big push from Cure right here and now. 2 tanks at a time. 3 more barracks now coming up behind this to get this 4th base settled. But with those tanks setting up, got to be very careful how you fight this here as Shin, because you can absolutely get demolished if you're not careful fighting into this. So I definitely think we've got to be super careful about how we approach this. The Marines will still step through. Go. Just going to be seeing the army coming forward. Obviously, Vipers are going to help a lot. The ability to come in here with the blinding clouds and knock some of the siege tanks down and out of the fight essentially is going to be absolutely huge for you as well. So that does become a major plus. Shin is going to clean up this attack. Now, it wasn't free. It cost him a fair few units. Supply-wise, Shin just about stays ahead of Cure, but a cleanup is a cleanup. Gets a few SCVs with a counter-attacking Roach as well before the Banshee cleans that up. Everything else gathering up here. Things coming through. A couple of Vipers going to start consuming again. +3 melee. Tightness plating. Upgrades across the board continuing through for the moment. So we just get all of that underway. Marines going to go get themselves an Overlord. So Overlord will go down. Yeah, Roach, Ravager, Bane, Ling, continuing through too. Some more shots coming off right away there. Fancies will shoot again. Roach, Ravager taking damage. Viper's taking shots again. The Banshee's getting hit by the parasitic bomb for a couple of moments. Banshee's still coming by. Q with a big shove to the top now. He shouldn't deal with this. He's moving in the wrong direction. He's going to the bottom, but Q is up north. Scan reveals it, and Q are now showing the army. I mean, good tank spread once again. Definitely going to need those Vipers to come into play here, otherwise we are just going to be in trouble. And on top of that hatch, I don't even know if we necessarily need to protect this hatchery super heavily, because this hatchery might just be okay to kind of go down with the fact we've got the bottom side of the map set up. Great Blinding Cloud's going to hit pretty much every single siege tank. Did not really ask for a much better engage than that in terms of stopping the tanks from firing. The problem is it took you so long to get through that the tanks actually came out of Blinding Clouds, and that's allowed Cure to get a much better fight on this than maybe what was initially expected. The Ultras never really chomped through the tanks quickly enough. A lot of Banes went off on a tank or two instead of continuing to chase Bio. And Shin loses a lot of supply. Oh, we're really going to see Shin, the star of the off-season. I mean, we know he's not going to advance out of this group, but 0-3 is very shocking to me. Very, very shocking. But I think that's where we're at. Hatch on the right side goes down. Shin gives his head a little tilt. Q's units are just not going to stop coming. He has not won any of these fights convincingly enough at the end of the day. And that means that we are pretty much going to wrap this up. Queen's still coming through, moving forward. Tank's going to be there as well. I mean, there's just no way, right? There's no way we're stopping this one. I'll continue to try and fight, trade it out. Just not going to happen. Kira is going to take it, and he is going to be going to win. So Kira gets 3rd place in this group. I mean, there's not going to be much excitement there. It's a little victory. It doesn't change the outcome. They're both still eliminated from this group at the end of the day. That's obviously not what they were looking for when they came into this, unfortunately. Alrighty, guys, that's that. That is that. That is that. That is that. So that's going to be our first group of the Mars Coliseum. I'm sure they'll show us some bits and pieces here now over the next moment or two. And we'll get to see some little things. But yeah, pretty much just wrapping it up right there. Pretty impressive stuff from Astrea. I really do think, looking back on this, that Astrea was kind of the guy that made the most of this, right? Definitely showed up, definitely surprised us in a big way, I think it's fair to say as well. Very impressed by Astrea today, really am. This is how the group ends up. Serral in first, Astrea second, Q Nips third place, as we just mentioned. That is going to be pretty much that, guys. I mean, like I said, there's not really much else to add on. Outside of that, I suppose. Yeah, GG's. GG's. Group B happens next week, as you can see, that's going to be with MaxPax, Rain, or Rogan Skill. It's actually a very fun group as well, I think. I think there's a lot of potential for a couple of upsets, maybe even there, so I don't think that's going to be, yeah, I don't think that's going to be as easy as some people may think. I think some people may look at that and be like, ah, yeah, I see who's going to take this one down, but I actually think it's going to be pretty rough. I mean, start off with MaxPax Skill and MaxPax Rain. And those are some of the best matches of the group, I think, straight away. A lot of rogue games, I guess, on day 2 will be interesting. Suppose it'll be fun to see how those pan out. So yeah, guys, that's where we're going to be at, as we have some highlights here. To round us out, thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and being here with us as well. It has been a pleasure. And yeah, we'll just watch this outro, and then that's going to be it for us today, basically. So thank you so much for watching. We'll watch these. I guess I'll just run the ads as these highlights are on, and we'll just wrap this stream up. I'll be back tomorrow with WardiTV Mondays, guys. Thank you so much for supporting. Appreciate you all. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys next time.